Welcome back to our survival challenge, where we're economically suppressed on hard mode, have no contracts, and no easy mods. In the last episode, we made a big move that should triple our $7,500 annual income to over $22,000 and make it possible to advance the farm. But let's see if that's true. Last time, we cut the new field we just bought and were able to get the two grass fields just 1 month apart on their growing cycles. Now, we're able to get them on the same growing cycle and for the first time, harvest them together. It's early May, and our next mowing and baling cycle isn't until July, but we have a small problem to overcome. By the time July comes, we won't have enough money in the account to cover the rental fees of the baler, wrapper, and roller. I know, our age-old story of fighting rental fees, but we have a solution. We're going to cut down 2 of the small trees on the new field and sell those off. That should give us enough money to pay the monthly loan payments and still have enough to rent the equipment. This first shagbark hickory and the other elm are both small, so they won't bring in much money. I'll guess around $700, but it'll be enough, and it has to be done. Compared to the elm, the hickory cut up very easily. I should have sold the 2 trees separately as a test to see how much we'd get for each, but we'll just look at the total when we're done. Alright, 8:30 for the first load, let's get back to the farm. Actually, that's all we need to cover the monthly payments for the next 2 months, so I think we'll pass the day over into June and check things on the farm. Another thing I'm doing a couple times a day is checking the used equipment list. Getting a baler, wrapper, or roller on sale would be huge, but so far, no luck. Okay, it's June. Our original grass field is in its second harvest stage and at its best, and the new field we just bought is in its first harvest month. Excellent.
Everything is going as planned.
We're going to have to pass a few months here and there because we're still just scratching out a bare-bones existence. We don't have a lot of different things all happening on the farm. With these grass fields, I'm putting them on a cycle where April, July, and October will be the busy months processing grass. It doesn't feel right to let an entire month pass without doing anything, even though I'm sure it will happen while we're still getting established. So for this month, we'll at least get the rest of the small elm tree cut, loaded, and sold. Very good. 2 small trees, 2 loads of wood. There's a few heavier pieces on the trailer, so this might bring in a fair bit of money, but we shouldn't get our hopes up. I'll take a guess at 500. 502, almost exact. I guessed that because of the first load bringing in a little over 800, and I think these smaller 11-meter deciduous trees are probably worth about 700 each, so it all worked out. You know, if I was going to plant deciduous trees and cut them while they're small for money, the shagbark hickory might be the way to go. It's a very easy tree to get processed up. Okay, we've passed over into July and things are going to get busy. Let's do a quick check. Yes, the new field is lush with grass. All the grass looks even across the 2 cutting times, and the original field looks great too. Before we go heads down on the field, let's look at the mushrooms right quick. We've got 5 pallets that have spawned, and we've got 2 pallets of enoki and almost 2 pallets of oyster shrooms. Altogether, that's almost $6,000 of mushrooms to sell when the price is good later on in the winter. The mushroom house was such a great purchase, and I want to get another one soon. But we got a couple other things to prioritize first. One is getting both these fields mowed and baled. So let's get after it. I just want to show a couple things here. Look at the way the front linkage pivots on the machine. And the movement on the independent seat suspension you'll find on a lot of tractors. Very nice. Alright, both fields are mowed, including as much of the grass on the hillside as I could get. It's time to get the baler. We'll just flip the weight around here and get it put on the front. Probably best with the baler on the back, and rent our machine. I'm going back to the New Holland. I like the color a little better. I think it's because it matches the tractor wheels. It just seems to fit. This is the first time we've mowed and baled both fields together, so I'm curious to see how much we'll get. You know, I do that a lot. I start baling, then remember to set the bale size to the larger bales. Someday, we'll get it right. We'll take a quick look here. Yes, 12 bales off just the original field without the extra bits down by the pine trees. Pretty much what I thought. Let's keep going. Alright, the grass off the hill was 2 bales, not a ton. I'm probably going to put some animals on that hill, and I think it would be a good use of the land, so I was a little curious how much grass we'd be losing, and I can live with 2 bales that are a little hard to mow and bale anyways. Okay, we're working on bale 23 and are at 47%. Let's mow a little extra and finish off that last bale. Easy enough. That's 23 total bales, including the 2 off the hill. That's a guaranteed 20 bales just off the fields. 12 from the original field and 8 more from the new one. Let's drop off the mower, get the baler returned, and pick up the wrapper. We've got quite a few bales to wrap and get set off to the side. I think this time I'm going to change up the color of the wrap to this nature green. No particular reason, just to do something different, because we can. The animations of shifting the gears is cool. I mean, I know it's a small thing and has nothing to do with the game mechanics, but it does add a bit to see the shifting in sync with the gear changes. But now, on with the baling. Well, we've run out of wrap. That's a first for FS25. You have to buy your baling twine and your plastic wrap for silage, so I guess we'll reload down at the store. A pallet of wrap is $3,900. That's real farm life, an expense we did not anticipate, and a big one. One we don't have money for either, but we have to have the wrap. The only real choice we have is to take out a 1 increment loan of $5,000. It's not what I want to do, but it's required. Our mushrooms are at their worst price here in midsummer, so a loan is our only option. We'll at least go for the same nature green and keep everything the same. We'll load up here and come back later with the pallet fork. At least we've got a whole pallet of wrap, which should last us a while. We've burned through another full load of wrap, which is a good thing. If you remember, we didn't wrap the bales off the new field the first time we cut it. We saved them to wrap later. So we're going through a fair bit of plastic, which is a good problem to have. This time though, we'll take the pallet fork to the store and bring all the wrap back with us. The wrapper on the back will be our counterweight. The 3650 is certainly a utilitarian tractor if nothing else. We'll drop the pallet off out of the way by the mushroom house. The farm must be growing because we're starting to stockpile supplies. With that little delay out of the way, let's get everything flipped around and finish off the last bale. What I should probably have done is not load up the wrapper that last time with just one bale. I'm now going to have to return the wrapper with all my expensive plastic loaded. I'd have been better off just leaving the one bale and wrapping it with the next harvest. It was a little tactical error there, but a little one. We'll get over it. Right now, we'll just get back with our rented roller and finish off the field. Okay, we're done. Both fields are rolled and ready for the next harvest, which will be in October. We'll return the roller, and I think, as long as we're here and have a little pocket money, we'll get some diesel. Might as well top it off. And also go for a round of repairs to keep our tractor in good working order. A little over $500, I can live with that. Let's take a little selfie here in front of our biggest row of silage bales so far. 34 bales total between the one cutting on the new field and the combined cutting we just did. Very nice. That'll bring in some decent money. I remembered while it's still here in July, we've got one more important chore to do. We have to fill the greenhouse with water. Last time I looked, there wasn't enough to make it to August, so we'll pop back over to the store now that we've admired our silage and get a water tanker. We cannot let that greenhouse run out of water. Just a little dip into the river, and there we go. The greenhouse doesn't take much, so one more tanker of water should do the trick. Let's check the creek one more time just in case. No ability to fill. How about this way? Still no. That's all right though. The river is right below us. It's no problem to fill from there. Unless we swamp the tractor. That was probably pretty close. Let's top off the greenhouse and return the tanker. This tanker is another item that would be really good if it came up used on sale. It's barely anything to rent, but it would be nice to own our own, just to save the trouble. We'll also return it right from here and save the trip back to the store. Usually we're dropping off one thing and picking up another, but we're done here needing equipment for a couple months. At this point, it's just a matter of waiting for the grass to grow. In October, the grass will be at its full growth to cut, and the silage will be fermented to sell for a nice big payoff. And I'm planning to make a big purchase with that money in the next episode. Like and subscribe to watch how the farm grows, and I'll see you in the next one.